What's up guys, this is Zonafan here much later than I was hoping with a recap of my time at this year's Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, California. This was also my first time going to any convention, and I gotta say, these were without a doubt some of the most magical 4 days of my entire life so far. Before we begin, I just want to let you know that these kinds of videos take me a lot of time to make, so if you could subscribe to join the insanely small percentage of my viewers that are, and just blow this video up for me, that would mean so much. Anyways, let's kick it off with day one. This was easily the most action-packed day of Celebration. Among other exciting reveals that day, the teaser trailer for the Andor series took the top spot for me. I don't care if this was basically a copy and paste of the Star Wars Eclipse trailer, I believe that Andor could very well become my new favorite Star Wars show, and to see it produced on this scale is something truly special. After the panel, I got to meet Josh, aka Star Wars IRL, and he makes some of the most high-quality Star Wars content I've ever seen. I've been a huge fan of his channel for a while now, so that was a great surprise. And funnily enough, I ran into him like 5 times throughout the rest of the convention. I also got to meet Scott Trowbridge, one of the main Walt Disney Imagineers behind Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and got to do a quick interview with him, so I'll link to that down below. I also toured the Mandalorian experience, which was an exhibit filled with the real props, models, and costumes from the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, as well as the upcoming Ahsoka series. Full video is going to be linked below if you want to check it out. Back on the main show floor, they also had a similar but much smaller exhibit for some of the costumes from the Kenobi series. And as if that wasn't awesome enough, that night I got to witness the world premiere of Obi-Wan Kenobi on the big screen at Star Wars Celebration. I don't think it gets much cooler than that. Since then, I've found so much to enjoy about this series, and I still can't believe how epic that finale was. But I'll pass the question off to you. What did you think of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Let me know in the comments. Now, an unexpected highlight from the next day was the Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary panel. There, some of the cast and crew shared stories about what it was like working on the film, and it was a lot more fun than I was initially expecting. Tamara Morrison and Daniel Logan were just hilarious the entire time. And Tim had this story about the time where he had to reshoot the scene where he says,
"Pack your things, we're leaving."
And they went, "Thank you," and that was it.
You should have said something.
I said, "Can I do take 2 just since I flew all this way?" So I went, "Boba, pack your gears, we're leaving. Thank you."
Although I kind of expected it to happen, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor came onto stage and the crowd went wild.
Let's hear it for Ewan McGregor!
Oh my...
Oh my gosh, surprise everyone!
Afterwards, Ewan McGregor and Daniel Logan discussed what it was like shooting the scene where Obi-Wan first meets a young Boba Fett.
Yeah, 13. So, we did a few takes and George was like, wouldn't quite get it more suspicious. And I just leant down to him and I went, when I open the door, act like I've done a terrible fart. And he went, and I said, just try it. So the next take, he opened the door and he looked at me and went, and it totally worked.
You weren't method acting though, and that's
No, I couldn't help it for real, but...
These are the stories we want to hear, trust me. Well, Hayden, and nice to meet you.
Then, as everyone was exiting, I got this amazing shot of Hayden. And in case you're wondering, yeah, I'm a good photographer. After the panel, I got to meet the couple behind Star Wars Explained. They were both really nice, and I'm a huge fan of their channel. On day 3, I and about 150 other fans got to attend a breakfast with Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lanter. There, they walked around, answering fan questions and sharing some stories from what it was like working on the Clone Wars.
This laugh. Yeah. Yeah. And unbeknownst to us, I think very early on, Cam recorded that laugh. And so anytime we just needed a little something over the speakers in the entire booth, 7 years later, but that's something that stands out to me. Yeah.
Well, and Cameron also, one time he did something really good, and so I just said, "Gold star for Cameron." And he recorded that as well. So whenever he wanted to give himself props and applaud himself, he would hit that and say, "Gold star for Cameron."
During this time, I came to further appreciate their dedication and recognize how much of themselves they put into their characters. I had a blast, and it was incredibly touching to see how kind and genuine Matt and Ashley truly are. Afterwards, I was literally sprinting across the convention center to get to the Mando Plus panel, and thank goodness I was able to get in because we got some exciting news and teaser trailers for The Mandalorian Season 3, as well as the upcoming Ahsoka series. As for Mando, this next season looks to be much larger in scale than what I originally thought. The teaser features a lot of cool stuff, including but not limited to more Mandalorians, the iconic Gauntlet starfighter in action once again, an awesome dogfight with some new ships chasing Din's N1, a shot of some Imperial Star Destroyers likely under construction, and the trailer ended with a shot of the ruined Mandalorian capital of Sundari. In short, I cannot wait to return to Mandalore, and I'm excited to see what else Season 3 has to offer. Sometime later, I might do a video discussing my theories for next season, as well as my general hopes for the future of the Mandoverse. So let me know in the comments if that's something you want to see. Towards the end, we also got a very brief teaser for Ahsoka, which was still being shot at the time. Despite that, we still got some cool shots, which include Sabine overlooking the mural from the Rebels epilogue, the live-action debut of Hera Syndulla, and after months of rumors, it's officially confirmed that Natasha Liu Bordizzo will portray Sabine Wren in live action. Also, hey yo, new celebrity crush just dropped? Anyways, there's currently very little information on when it actually takes place in the timeline or what it's actually about. It's likely the series will focus on Ahsoka following her duel with Darth Vader, while hopefully the search for Ezra Bridger could be saved for a potential sequel to Star Wars Rebels. Speaking of Star Wars animation, we got news that another batch of Visions shorts are coming next year, and from a wider range of studios and cultures from around the world. One studio I'd love to see create a short for this series is Fortiche, the French animation studio behind Arcane, because I already know that their style in the world of Star Wars would be a match made in heaven. That same day, Tales of the Jedi was announced. The miniseries, which debuts sometime this fall, focuses on Ahsoka and Dooku at different points in their lives. At that point, my interest had already been piqued, but during the announcement panel, we also got to watch the first episode. The animation was stunning as always, and this time looks to be a blend between the Bad Batch and Rebels art styles. The episode itself was also great and focused on a baby Ahsoka and her mother. Interestingly enough, Janita Gavankar, who plays Iden Versio in Battlefront 2, also voices Ahsoka's mother, so she came out on stage for a bit.
Being a part of any of this is always emotional. I know everybody out there feels it. I could hear you listening to my little baby. I could hear the sounds you made. We all feel it. We all feel it together.
And of course, Dave Filoni had a reason as to why she was the perfect choice for the role.
You know, behind it all had to be somebody that really cared. As simple as that. And you're such a fan. And, you know, my wife and I had talked about it. I was like, Annie, who could play this character? And Anne actually recommended Genia for it. And I'm like, wow, you're so right. Because you care about Star Wars. And that's it. And obviously, you know, you do care. And I think that that's important. Anybody we bring in to play these characters for Star Wars, I want them to feel it. I want it to be important to them because it's important to everybody here.
And Day 4 was a fun end to Celebration. I got to go to the Bad Batch Season 2 panel, and there the cast and crew talked about what it was like working on the first season and recording voiceover for their characters.
It's important to note that as we're performing through a scene, Brad's going to read through the stage direction, but that's a really important part for us as a voice actor to be aware of so that we can add action and pause and adjust the presence of our voice so that it fits the specific story that Brad and Jen and Matt have already kind of laid out for us here. So this adds the context to what we're doing.
Okay, this is Bad Batch, episode 107, scene whatever, and take one. We're rolling.
Wow, I've never been inside an iron engine before.
It'd be weird if you had.
These chambers are quite the engineering marvel. This blast primer coating is capable of withstanding...
No one cares! Keep moving!
Later in the panel, we got to see the Batch's new looks for next season. I'm especially loving Tech's repainted armor and Omega's new outfit. Some of my major highlights from the teaser trailer would be the Bad Batch going to Coruscant, Crosshair and Commander Cody reuniting, which had me going crazy, and the Emperor seems to be taking a larger role this season, so at this point, I'm kind of worried for some of the characters. Regardless, it looks like next season is going to be a lot of fun and probably filled with a few twists and turns. I'm hoping for longer episodes, which probably won't happen, happen, but I also hope that it'll improve upon some of the weaker aspects of Season 1. A couple examples that come to mind would be the Sid mission episodes, and Echo's character pretty much being sidelined for a majority of the episodes. Hopefully next season can start to change things up. After the panel, I got to meet Leeland Chee, Lucasfilm's official keeper of the holocron, who basically helps maintain the consistency of Star Wars canon. And looking back on it, my only regret is that I didn't ask him any questions. There was also a screening of the Clone Wars finale, and it was really cool getting to experience that on the big screen at Celebration. And towards the end of the panel, I also got an amazing clip of Dave Filoni sharing what it was like bringing this chapter in Ahsoka's life to a close. So that is going to be linked down below. I highly recommend you check it out. Me and my dad also got pictures with some iconic Star Wars actors, including the Senate himself, Ian McDiarmid, Anthony Daniels, and my favorites would be the ones we got with Tamara Morrison and Giancarlo Esposito. Both of them brought so much energy and awesomeness to Celebration, and it was such an incredibly cool experience getting to meet them. I also had the chance to get pictures with some of the fantastic cosplayers at Star Wars Celebration, with costumes ranging from these amazingly well-done clones, stormtroopers, and scout troopers, to the Armorer and Ursa Wren, and a couple standouts would be this lady who made Scorch into a Mandalorian, and this phenomenal General Grievous. Looking back on the whole experience, I'm incredibly thankful to have made so many great connections, and that I got to spend time with my dad. We're easily the biggest Star Wars fans in our family, and I'm glad we got to do this together. I was also reminded that this fandom is so much more than just what we see online. I often forget that this is still a group of so many passionate, creative, and unique people that come from all over the world to enjoy Star Wars together. And that positivity is the reason I loved going, and why I hope to again sometime in the future. And that's all from my time at Star Wars Celebration 2022. If you like Star Wars and want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe and check out my other socials, which are linked down below. If there are any of you who went to Star Wars Celebration this year, what did you think? And if there are any of you who plan on going next year, let me know in the comments. And until then, this is zonafan, signing off.